Fears of a sectarian civil war emerged after a series of bombings by Islamists across Nigeria on Christmas Day killed over 24 people. The attacks included a bombing at a church in the Plateau state capital of Jos. Christian and Muslim religious leaders are appealing for calm.
We are totally against it, we condemn it, and nobody is doing it on behalf of Muslims. No, anybody who claims to do it on behalf of Muslims, it's a lie. They are doing it for themselves.
If it were a political fight, it would have either been PDP fighting ACN, or fighting ANPP, or fighting any other political party. But this is people fighting either the church or the mosque that do not support them.
The head of the Christian Association in Nigeria said the killings were not religious but political. He added the group would retaliate if any further attacks against Christians were carried out.
About a quarter of Mauritania's population, or 700,000 people, face the grim prospect of a severe food shortage as a result of poor grain yields attributed to lack of enough rain. The government there is coming up with emergency measures to deal with the rather alarming situation, but things are not being helped by the dramatic rise in food prices. Let's look at this report for more on that.
Mauritanian soil is desperately dry. There was very little rainfall this year. Cereal production and pasture land have been the worst affected by the lack of water.
Cereal production is not expected to cover more than 15% of the country's needs, whereas in normal times it covers 25 to 35%. As for pasture land, the problem is so acute that we will have to import large quantities of cattle feed to prevent the worst from happening.
1/4 of the population is in danger. 700,000 people are threatened by severe food shortage. We have noted that food prices have risen, and even if these items are still available at the markets, they're not accessible to everyone, least of all to the poorest. In early December, the Mauritanian government launched an emergency program totaling 100 million euros. Aid organizations such as Oxfam are also going to provide food aid. But long-term solutions are needed as well in all countries of the Sahel that regularly suffer from food shortage.
The heads of state have pledged that over the next 5 years they will double the share of agriculture in their national budgets from 5 to 10% and will put the emphasis on infrastructure.
But so far, only 12 of the 54 countries concerned have respected these commitments. According to the World Food Programme, between 5 and 7 million people in Niger, Chad, Burkina Faso, Mauritania and Mali are in need of immediate food aid.
We now take a second break. Stay tuned.
New Year Eve special on Grts. Spice up your evening with entertainment and infotainment programs. We have a wonderful and attractive sponsorship package. Book now.
Welcome back. It's now time for the weather report by the Central Forecast Office.
The Gambia is endowed with a wonderful landscape full of baobab trees. Like its Cape Point in Bakau, it is one of the most exotic sceneries in the world. The baobab tree is a symbol of resilience, wisdom, and resourcefulness. For the baobab tree provides good food in times of hunger, rents its bark for medications, and its sap for glue. In the Gambia, there is a company like the baobab tree, 100% African and purely Gambian in all aspects, in know-how, design, value, capital, and management. That company is Elton. Elton, employing hundreds of Gambians and proudly associating itself with development in the Gambia. Elton, side by side with the Gambia.
It's a warm welcome to the weather segment, and from the Central Forecast Office, I am Hadichoy presenting. First, we begin with the summary followed by the forecast. It was cool and breezy in the early hours of the morning and partly cloudy in the afternoon. To know what prevailed over the rest of the continent, we propose a look at the image captured at 16:30 hours, indicating the presence of convective clouds over the southern part of the continent. Elsewhere indicated clear skies and stable conditions over the period. For the forecast tonight, we'll be expecting cloudy, cool, and windy conditions to prevail over the entire country, whilst the day tomorrow will be partly cloudy, slightly hazy, and occasionally windy. Winds will be northeasterlies in direction, but moderate to strong in speed. For the minimum temperatures, we'll be expecting 16 degrees Celsius over Banjul and Jundum, 14 over Karawan and Sibanor. Jinoy Kawur will record 12 degrees Celsius, Sapo, Jenjambure 11 degrees Celsius, whilst Basse Fototo 10 degrees Celsius. For the maximum temperatures, we'll be expecting 29 degrees Celsius over Banjul, 30 over Karawan and Jundum, 31 over Sibanor and Jinoy. Sapo, Kawur and Jenjambure will record 32 degrees Celsius, whilst Basse Fototo will record 34 degrees Celsius tomorrow afternoon. For those going to the sea, we'll be expecting a low tide of 0.38 meters at 7:35 a.m. and also 0.49 meters at 7:33 p.m. For the high tides, we'll be expecting 1.71 meters at 1:31 a.m. and also 1.39 meters at 2:05 p.m. The wave heights will vary between 1 to 2 meters high, and there will be northeasterly swells. The sun will rise at 7:28 and will set at 18:47. Thanks for the pleasure of your company, and do have a wonderful evening.
From weather, we take a quick look at our headline before we go. Officials implementing the $12 million Growth and Competitiveness Project have rolled out a sub-component dubbed the Matching Grants Facility. Jame Foundation for Peace has doled out a whopping $1.7 million to 8 grassroots organizations. The overnight killing of an entire family in Nigeria's multi-ethnic Plateau state has scaled up fears of more religious clashes. And hunger and malnutrition are stalking 700,000 Mauritanians living on cereals after a not-so-impressive planting season in the largely desert country. You can also follow those stories and other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. That brings us to the end of this edition of the news. Thanks for watching. I enjoy the rest of our programs.
jigéen sama yow moom gëj naa laa gis yow bii rafet na bii kañ la nii rap ak jàmm waay mbaa insurance nga ko kay
may masuma jàmm yow insurance dañuy fay
déedéet Gambia National Insurance Company ca Kereba ñu bokkuñ ci ñooñu de
ñooy ñooy ñaan
lu weesu fanweeri at ak juróom-ñaar ñu ngi ci biir réew mi di ñu aar suñu wàllu moto yi kër yi yoon yi tukki yi sa xaalis sax dañ koy aar
déedéet xanaa
waaw ñu wóor lañ nag te mun seen liggéey seen teewaay ci biir réew mi yokk na fi kóolute de
loolu de neex naa dégg
gis nga bi ci gën a tee neex nag ñoo gaaw a fay yàqu-yàqu dañuy fay yàqu-yàqu ci num gaawee boo eboo daal dawal dem insho yi
kon xaaral ma dem fagaru
dafal gaaw moo gën faju
jërëjëf suma caabi
jërëjëf de bii moom da nga ko war a insho waay rafa jàmm waay Gambia National Insurance Company seet si leen ñu tey pour seen bépp wàllu insurance
waa Gambia get ready for me you know what I'm talking about something hot is coming ak lan play lëmbal Papa Ndiaye coppet ak play lëmbal loolu dina mel ni sonkoron nga ca bàññi dina mel ni téeméeri yamu ci benn butel xale yu jigéen ñi damaa bëgg ni ngeen defoon soirée ba le weesu sañse leen waat fekk